Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Sorry, I'm just jamming out a little bit. It's fun to play on a classical guitar. I miss playing a classical. And yeah, I like that one. It does the job. It gets it done. Welcome to the show, everyone. I want to just start by saying I am sorry for yesterday's show. It was cut off early because my OBS actually crashed. It wasn't YouTube. A lot of people were asking me later on, are you okay? Is everything fine? Did YouTube cut me off? In fact, I am going to be talking about YouTube cracking down later on tonight. And in the show, YouTube actually upped its policy and is cracking down on misinformation on YouTube. They're even getting rid of fairly prominent people. Ron Paul, for example, got his channel nuked. Kind of sad, but we're going to talk about it. But I'm good. I updated my OBS, so it's good to go. Hopefully it doesn't cut me off again. It should be good, though. It should be fine. Thank you all for hanging out and showing up for me. We are going to be talking about the infrastructure bill. Yay! According to Joe Biden, it costs $0, which why wouldn't anyone want to be down for that? Like, yeah, if it costs nothing, sure. But of course, they have no mental capacity to understand things, anything. So yeah, I'm going to make fun of him a little bit for that, of course. But then we're going to go over what is actually in the infrastructure bill, including something that is not really a surprise, but kind of pisses me off. They are bailing out mainstream media. That's right. They're going to be giving them over $1 billion, $1.3 billion to the news media, which I think is almost like a payoff. But we'll see. We're going to get into that. And then I want to talk about celebrity culture. So Shaquille O'Neal actually came out the other day and said, you know what? I'm no longer a celebrity. And I'm like, doesn't really work that way, Shaq. I mean, you walk down the street, people are going to know who you are. But it turns out he's sick of the way celebrities act. Sick of the way this culture is where they look down on other people. I kind of respect the man for what he's saying. And we're going to talk about it. Talk about putting people on pedestals and treating people differently, and how there are certain elites that want to continue that exact tradition, looking down on others, making the rules for everyone else. It's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, we're going to talk about it a little bit, and we'll get into it. Rob Schneider has some things to say that I'm very grateful to hear from him, because I grew up really enjoying Rob Schneider a lot. He's been in many great movies throughout my lifetime, and he's rather based, and I'm quite happy to report. But we're going to get into it. But before we do, check out adamcrigler.com for all of the good things, all Crigler. And you can find out all my videos, all my skate stuff. You can all find it right there. Definitely go follow me over on Odyssey just in case something does happen to my channel. I mean, we are going to be talking about how YouTube is cracking down on misinformation. What they claim is misinformation, I have no idea anymore. Even yesterday, I was talking very delicately about the jab and different things that have to do with that. So it's only a matter of time, I'd say. But follow me over there. If something does happen, that is where I will be continuing on my show. Of course, you can follow me, criglercoffee.com. And if you get some coffee, take a picture and hashtag Crigler Coffee, and we'll feature it on our Instagram. This is from Makuro Kyo. I'm sorry, I have no idea how to say your name, but thank you. That looks like a delicious coffee right there. I don't know if yeah, I like the glass too. It's like a beautiful insulated glass. I love that. Pumpkin spice covfefe. Doesn't get any better than that. And of course, you could check out Crigler Coffee by going to criglercoffee.com, and you can support me by getting yourself some coffee. It's pretty great. It's a good deal. You know, it's a good balance, if you will. All right. Let's get into it. Before we do, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Please share my videos. A lot of you are sharing my videos. I appreciate all of you who are doing so. And smash that like button. That's right. Smash it. Smash that like button. We got always a great ratio. Look at that. Over 100 likes already. We just started. I love it. All right. So first, I want to just show you what we're going to be talking about. This is the actual bill. All 2,702 pages. That's right, 2,702 pages. It's insane. You can't sit and read this bill. It is ridiculously long. But here it is, the new infrastructure bill, the bipartisan infrastructure bill. It is massive. Look at this, 2,702 pages. I mean, it is insane, this thing. It's very small. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. So, I mean, it is ridiculous. I just was scrolling. It's 18 pages of just telling you what's in the bill. What's in the bill. It's 18 pages of just the context here. Just, letting you know what's going to be in it. Everything from rails to bridges to everything. But we're going to get into it. Thankfully, I've got an article that sums it up for us. And then I want to bring in some other things that pertained to the bill. Anyway, this is from the Washington Examiner. Here's what's in House Democrats' multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure and social spending package.
I trusted our governor. I trusted.
Cancel that. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So, yeah, this is crazy because everyone's talking about this infrastructure bill, which is $1.3 trillion, but they're not even talking about that there's two bills. It's two. One is for $1.3 trillion. The other, the social spending package, is over $3 trillion. This is crazy. They are just spending money like they own the money tree that they could just pick money off of. I mean, you know what? Before I even show you this, I want to show you guys. This is actually happening. The U.S. government will run out of money by October 18th. Treasury Secretary says they're running out of money. There's probably so many government programs that have been around forever because that's the best way to keep going, right? You just start a government program and you never end. You just keep getting funded, even if it's makes absolutely no sense and doesn't do anything. It doesn't work at all. Government programs. Yeah, the government is running out of money, while at the same time telling you that you need to pay for their plan because clearly they have it in and together, right? Wow. They are running out of money. House Democrats are fighting hard to pass let me stop this real quick, a multi-trillion-dollar reconciliation package full of new spending and tax measures. While the exact scope and funding of the bill are not yet finalized, here are highlights of what Democrats have laid out in legislation at the committee level this week. Now, I'm about to read these to you. It's not everything. As I said, it's 2,000 pages long, 2,700 pages long. Crazy. I don't agree with everything, but I also do agree with some things, right? Not all of this is actually bad. You think Democrats like, oh man, what is it going to be? It's like, no. There's some good things in this bill. Some of these things I feel like we do need. I'm down to have my taxpayer dollars go towards actual infrastructure, right? I'm cool with that. I think that's where our tax dollars should go. But there's so much more. Anyway, let's get into it. Workplace leave. Democrats hope to create the country's first federal leave program. They are proposing up to 12 weeks of universal paid family and medical leave to workers nationwide. The program would be rolled out over the next decade and include 12 weeks leave for those who suffer personal illness. The program would expand upon requirements for employers under the Family and Medical Leave Act. Okay, I can see that. A lot of these things, though, you got to be careful from the people who take advantage of them. But on the surface level, that seems right. Retirement. The legislation would mandate certain employers who do not currently have workers enrolled in employer-sponsored retirement plans automatically enroll them in individual retirement accounts or 401k type plans. See, now this I have a feeling I don't understand as much as I would like to, because that I feel like there's something wrong with forcing people to do that. Doesn't doesn't the government hold on to that money until I don't know too much about 401ks. I've never had one myself. I've never worked in an environment where this would have applied to me. Retirement accounts. I don't know. I don't trust it whenever they force people to do things. Yeah, I don't like mandates. I'm against mandates. Democrats also want to make the retirement savings contribution credit for low-income Americans who don't make enough to pay taxes, known as the Saviors Credit, refundable. The current iteration of the Saviors Credit is non-refundable, which means it can only be used to reduce the earner's tax liability to zero. That sounds an awful lot like welfare. Welfare state. Get money from the government. Stay hooked to the government's teat. Yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff either. I think ever since they implemented a lot of welfare laws in the 70s, a lot of nuclear family things from different people in society have fallen down and are stuck in a rut. Of course, they blame the patriarchy and systemic racism and all these things instead of blaming themselves and blaming the government who put them in that situation in the first place. Because that's where the government wants everybody. Requiring them, needing them. Anyway, continuing on, healthcare. The Democratic package also hopes to add dental, vision, and hearing benefits to traditional Medicare. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Now, dental is one of those things that I've grown up to realize that you got to take care of your teeth. If you don't take care of your teeth, why am I going to have to pay for your teeth? Okay? Seriously, brush your teeth. Take care of your teeth. Take care of your health. Take care of your body, right? I don't like having to pay for someone's anything if it could have been prevented by them working a little bit on their own health, right? There comes a point where, and I don't think I'm alone in this, and these Democrats just, healthcare is a right. I mean, basic healthcare maybe. If you break your leg, sure, that's an accident, and I can see that being taken care of, right? But that's where it ends. After a certain point, certain things you got to do because it ties directly to personal accountability and personal responsibility for your own body. Dental? Why should I pay for someone's bad teeth when they never brushed their teeth and lost all of them, right? Now, I get if it was a car accident and their teeth got knocked out, that's a different story. But if they rotted out and suddenly that's thousands of dollars for one tooth. Imagine a whole mouthful / society of people that don't care about especially when the government is like, whatever, we'll just use this taxpayer money to help you fix your teeth. Sorry, I'm so fed up with this universal healthcare thing that people, well, look at Sweden. Sweden's got private healthcare also. You can get private healthcare, and their base healthcare doesn't cover everything. It's the base things. So if you want to talk about Sweden, learn what's going on in Sweden instead of just blindly picking and choosing. It's very annoying. Looking at you, Bernie Sanders. Anyway, let me just finish even the first part of healthcare because it's just so frustrating. Dental coverage is popular among those who use Medicare Advantage, with about 94% of enrollees opting for it. However, only an estimated 47% of all Medicare beneficiaries don't have dental care covered. Another thing that bugs me about dental care? So my wife had dental insurance through her company that she worked for a little bit, and it was ending, and I was getting like a routine dentist thing, whatever. I went in, and they were like, oh, it actually ended, her dental plan ended, so you have to, so they were breaking down all of the dollars for me, right? It's X amount if you have insurance, and insurance pays X amount. But if you don't have insurance, it's like 5 times the amount that the insurance companies actually pay, not what you pay out of pocket. So for example, a teeth cleaning, right? If you have insurance, you pay $50, and the insurance pays the rest of it, say $200, right? But if you don't have insurance, it costs $500 for the exact same procedure that the insurance company is paying $200 for. So they're actually upcharging you for not having insurance. That's messed up. Anyway, can't stand that. Continuing on, extends Obamacare subsidies that reduce the amount enrollees pay to 8.5% or less of their income. Okay, helping people out that can't afford stuff, that's fine. Invests $190 billion to increase access to home-based care and services to the elderly and those with disabilities. You know what? Protect the elderly. I'm totally fine with this. If my tax dollars are going towards helping people in life, you know what? Fine. I respect my elders. I would like to know that we are taking care of our citizens. You know, that's fine. Granted, it could be taken advantage of. Any of these things could probably have an argument that they're going to be taken advantage of, but on the surface level, it seems legit. Providing funding to expand the child's health insurance programs permanently, which helps states provide low-cost health coverage to children and families that earn too much to qualify for Medicaid. Okay, helping the kids. I'm down for that. Addresses a funding shortfall in the World Trade Center health program by providing $2.86 billion to the program. I mean, it seems like a lot of money, but I don't really know how it's divvied up. Who knows? But if this is for the World Trade Center health program for the people that actually, or I don't know if it's firefighters or what that actually entails. So I'm just going to continue on. Provides $36 billion to infrastructure and funding for public health departments to construct and modernize health facilities and expand capacity for training. Okay, as long as the training isn't woke, okay, that's good. And who doesn't want nice, clean, updated hospitals for our citizens? Sounds good. Allocates more than $15 billion in pandemic preparedness investments, including strengthening supply chains, supporting vaccine manufacturing, and bolstering the strategic national stockpile. Now, this I do not like. Okay, and I've got to be very careful about how I explain this, because I'm going to be talking about this in a little while. YouTube is cracking down on any sort of misinformation. Now, I've been paying attention to the news for over a year and a half, since essentially the beginning of the pandemic, right? And one thing that I've seen is hospitals get more money the more cases that they report. Okay? And that, I've been saying, any of these can be taken advantage of. Well, that seems to be the thing. I'm not saying it's true. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I don't trust that. $15 billion in pandemic preparedness investments. Okay, what does that mean? Who are they investing in? Where's that money going? Right? That I don't trust. I want that to be laid out more transparently. Drug pricing changes to allow Medicare to negotiate lower prices. The measure failed to advance from the Energy and Commerce Committee on Wednesday after 3 Democrats joined Republicans in opposing it. Although the plan can still advance to vote in the House, the Congressional Budget Office provisions would slash federal spending by nearly $500 billion over the next decade. House leadership says the legislation is still cornerstone of the spending package. Or maybe, bear with me now, Joe Biden re-implements the executive order that Donald Trump put in last, I think it was September, maybe August of 2020, that stopped these drug companies from spiking all their prices. Donald Trump took care of that, and Biden got rid of it. Now the Democrats are fighting to re-implement it in a different way with their name on it, claiming that it's, this is what the people need. It's like, well, then why did Biden get rid of it in the first place? See, these Democrats, they want to have all the control. They want the glory, and they can't give Trump anything. He already solved it. He wrote the executive order that handled this already. Medicare to negotiate lower prices. Everyone got lower prices. This is just talking about Medicare. when Trump had it so that no drug company, Big Pharma, was like, wait, what about our profits? Trump's like, American people, all right, before your profits. Deal with it. Well, Biden got rid of that, of course. All right, moving past medical, we got transportation. Provides $10 billion in funding to support the planning and development of public high-speed rail projects. Okay, about time. We're way behind. I mean, look at China. They're building high-speed rails all over their country. Provides $10 billion to expand service areas and increase services in low-income and disadvantaged part of the country. Okay, I don't really know what that means, but sounds decent on the surface. Proposes $3.95 billion in competitive grants to reconnect communities divided by existing infrastructure barriers and benefit disadvantaged communities, and $6 billion for surface transportation projects. Right. I vaguely recall Pete Buttigieg calling our highways racist. That's right. He was calling our highways racist by saying the people in low-income housing have been disenfranchised, marginalized by highways. Well, I'm sorry, Pete Buttigieg. In fact, it was the government. It was the government creating low-income housing, creating huge welfare programs that keep people stuck in those situations and not helping people bolster their own lives and move away from being attached to the government. Now they were stuck in these zones that they're claiming were racist. Well, hey, guess what? Those were the Democrats that did that. My. $1 billion for investment in projects using low-emission aviation technology or produce, transport, or blend sustainable aviation fuel. Okay. Yeah, we should be moving to a better fuel source, I guess, a more environmentally friendly fuel. Sure. Okay. I could get behind that. Would allocate $1 billion for climate resilient infrastructure construction and improvements for the Coast Guard, $788 million for a new polar security cutter, and $350 million for a new icebreaker for the Great Lakes. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, all right. I mean, I'd like to see what they're talking about. Look at over at in Asia, like these green buildings that they're building. They're beautiful. I mean, I think it's Hong Kong is one of, so many of their buildings are covered in trees and stuff. It's beautiful. In fact, funny enough, I lived in New York for a long time. One of the few buildings that has trees implemented it is the Trump Tower in New York. And that was built in the late 70s, 79, 78? Maybe it was 81. I don't know. In between that span of 4 years, in the 1980 beginning, whatever. Covered in trees. Beautiful. I would love to have green buildings. Nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. The Maritime Administration would receive $2.5 billion for grants to support supply chain resilience, reduce port congestion, and develop offshore wind infrastructure. Okay. I mean, wind energy is not very effective. Okay, I've been learning about green energy. It's not the most reliable. It's just not. It's, I think, under 10%, way under 10% of our national energy source. It's not enough. We can't fuel our lives on wind energy or solar energy. There needs to be something better, a new energy source. I think nuclear is absolutely the way forward, but everyone doesn't want that because it's very efficient. Very, very efficient. Anyway, here comes the climate, environment, and energy. In a broad sense, the spending package is meant to have the United States generate 80% of its power from clean energy sources and cut carbon emissions in half by 2030. Now, you heard what I just said, right? About how it's we're not even getting 10% from green energy, from clean energy sources. What is clean energy source in their viewpoint? It's, I don't know. I don't see that happening by 2030. Hold on, especially because We have to go to China for most of the stuff. China has 80% of the world's battery productions. The lithium, we're going to be tied to China? No, we need to be independent. I mean, we were energy independent for the first time in decades because of President Trump. But now suddenly he's cut it. That Biden has. He's cutting. Now he's like asking other countries to send us oil. It is absolutely insulting. The Government Services Administration would receive $1 billion in convert buildings management, or managed or owned by the administration, into high-performance green buildings. Oh, convert them. Ah, I see. Okay, so the government would get $1 billion to upgrade all of their buildings to green buildings, high performance. I mean, all right. All right, sure. Government gets new stuff. Sure. Provide $150 billion for Clean Electricity Performance Program. The program requires electric providers to increase the percentage of clean energy given to customers by 4% year over year. Providers will be given grants if they meet the goal and fined if they fall short. So this whole energy thing, it's a problem because they're blindly making these statements and not having any real answers to give the providers. They just want to just say, we're going to do clean energy. We're going to get off of fossil fuels. We're not going to ban fracking. We are going to ban fracking. I don't know. Biden's got to make up his mind. But from what I know and understand, green energy is absolutely not viable at this moment. Okay, now I had the orbital assembly guys on my show months ago, last year, and they were talking about how they were planning on making geosynchronous solar arrays that would be sending energy down to the planet from gathering energy from the sun. Now, of course, that's incredibly dangerous. It could be taken over by bad guys. Insert, scary Bond movie where they take all of them, hack into them, and burn the planet alive or something crazy, But it is possible. They are looking at it. So we'll see. I don't know. I think we need a new engine. We need I don't have the answers to this, and it bugs me because I would love to have a response. Well, what would the better option be? I don't know. But combustible engines are not it. It's just what we've been using. We're stuck on it. I think we need a new engine. Something based on magnets, magnetic energy. I think that's the key. Working gravity, using and manipulating gravity. Obviously, I'm way out of my league, but I believe that's the way what we need to figure out. We need to figure out how to use gravity as a power source, and once we do that, and then I was going to say the sky's the limit, but it's bigger. The space is the limit. Okay, let's move on. Provides $13.5 billion in spending on electric vehicle infrastructure to support an electric vehicle charging network. Okay, but this is another thing so the whole electric vehicle thing too. It's not better. It's still digging into the earth now for completely different materials. We're going into Greenland to totally mine that to hell. Excuse my language there, but that's really what they're doing now. Now Australia has a bunch of lithium. Greenland has a bunch of lithium. They're going to be mining it for different stuff, rare earth minerals for all these different electric vehicles that are now replacing what we've been using. It's a whole new market for these people to capitalize on. Why do you think Bill Gates is a part of a $1 trillion deal with Greenland to mine Greenland? Yeah, this is happening. They're just replacing one thing for another. We're still gouging Earth for her minerals. I thought that they were talking about not doing that anymore. No, they don't care. They just want to sell us the next product. That's what it is. Anyway, so an infrastructure that would support it, yeah, right? We're obviously moving there, but I don't think that's the answer. Provide $5 billion to replace some heavy-duty vehicles, such as buses, school buses, and trash trucks with zero-emission vehicles. Invest $9 billion towards transmission improvement to electrical grids. That I can get behind. Provides $17 billion to help decarbonize federal fleets and buildings. The government is just getting all new buildings, all new cars, all new everything for themselves. My. Let's see, puts $18 billion towards home energy efficiency and appliance rebates to reduce energy usage. All right, where would that even go? Rebates. All right, allocates $27 billion to local, state, and nonprofit climate institutions that support developing low emissions and zero emission technology. At least 40% is planned for investments in disadvantaged communities. Provides $30 billion to remove and replace lead service lines. Good. Provide $10 billion for superfunded site cleanup. Is that like to pick up all the trash off the ground? Because I'll tell you what, I've traveled around a lot in my life. I've lived in Europe throughout the past 2 decades, and there is so much trash in America. There is just trash everywhere. I've been to Canada. I've been to Mexico. Like, I remember, going to Mexico when I was a kid. I'm like, oh man, like, you driving through the countryside in Mexico, it feels like they're, a shadow of their former self. But there was no trash. I didn't remember seeing trash. And I've been to Mexico a lot throughout my entire life. I've lived in Arizona. I lived in California. And there's no place that I've seen more trash than here in America. And it's really sad. In fact, in New York, I watched my own neighbor empty her car out of trash by just pulling the trash and throwing it on the ground. Just dumping trash. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was like, what is this? This is insane. So, cool. Now we're going to spend $10 billion to clean it up. I don't know. We'll see. All right, next is technology. Provides $10 billion in grants for next generation 911 services to make them more accessible and efficient. Okay, that's a lot, but we got it across the whole country. Grants the Federal Trade Commission $1 billion to create and operate a new bureau to combat privacy violations, identity theft, and data security incidents. A new bureau of the federal government. Great. I want less government, not more, but okay. Provides $4 billion to ensure students, teachers, and schools have internet connectivity and devices to bridge the homework gap. All right. Or we could just wait till SpaceX finishes their whole satellite network and just use that. But okay. Provides $10 billion to monitor and identify threats and vulnerabilities in critical manufacturing supply chain. Okay, that sounds like important. Immigration allows 8 million undocumented dreamers, they say, who came to the country as children, undocumented, essential workers, and those in temporary protective status program to apply for permanent residency. It has yet to be seen if the Senate parliamentarian will allow immigration measures into the final bill through the reconciliation process, which is intended to pertain to budgeting. Now, it doesn't say how much they were going to put into here, but it's just simply saying it's allowing these 8 million undocumented dreamers. Of course, dreamers. And how many of these people are pouring over the border right now? I don't know. Revenue measures. The proposal has a menu of tax options to pay for the hefty spending package that targets corporations, perceived tax avoidance loopholes, and income of the wealthy. The combination of tax codes shakeups will raise nearly $2.1 trillion, the nonpartisan Joint Committee of Taxation estimates. It's interesting, too, because when asked, Jen Psaki said, well, someone asked her, hey, so traditionally, when the government raises the taxes of the corporations and employers, all the rich people, the elites, whatever, it always ends up raising the taxes or the prices of things that normal consumers buy. Thus, raising the tax, raising the everything for regular people. And she goes, well, the fact that they do that is absurd and insulting. Yeah, but they do that. What do you think's going to happen if you raise the taxes on all these big corporations? They're just going to raise the price of all of their products to offset how much they have to spend. Right? They're not just going to pay more out of their profits. No, they're going to raise the prices on everything to match and be able to pay for the tax to continue their bottom line. And then I got to bring this up. This is just insane. So this is President Biden tweeting out. I don't know if it's him or not. Who knows? He tweeted this out. My Build Back Better agenda costs $0. Okay. Everything I've been reading to you right now is his Build Back Better agenda. All those billions and billions of dollars for all those different allocations that I've been reading to you guys. He's here saying it costs $0. What? How, sir? Instead of wasting money on tax breaks, loopholes, and tax evasion for big corporations and the wealthy, we can make a once-in-a-generation investment in working America. And it costs $0 to the national debt. $0 to the national debt. Then why do you need to raise the debt limit? The debt ceiling? They're fighting because the Republicans are like, we're not going to raise the debt ceiling. The Democrats are like, we need to so we can spend money. Okay, they're spending money. Somehow they're claiming that it costs nothing. And of course, Biden's team is getting ripped apart by it as economically illiterate. And they are. It's a ridiculous notion. You know the phrase, you got to spend money to make money? Okay, it holds true, right? You can't like build a business without like putting some effort into it. Time is money, so you know you could put time into it and you maybe start getting some money back and then you can reinvest that into yourself. Well, that's really where his logic lies. In fact, PolitiFact came out. Can Joe Biden's agenda really cost $0? A guide to the bills and numbers. Now, I'm not going to read this to you guys. I've went ahead and checked it out. It's basically saying that by doing this, by spending all of this money here, we're going to be getting this tax dollars that will then pay for all of that. So eventually we'll get that money back. You think we're going to get that money back? What? I'm sorry. No. Government programs last forever. They're going to spend more money. They're going to make more welfare. What about these $8 million or 8 million people that are coming in? You know they're going to have to be in the welfare system. You know they're going to need low-income housing because they are going to need some place to live, right? Where are they going to live? I don't know. Somewhere. And the government has to provide. And where does the government get their money? From me. From you. So we're paying for it. It doesn't cost $0. That is misinformation. That is, I mean, this is a lie. This tweet. This is a lie. Look, this is hilarious. This is from James Lindsay. He says, the Great Reset is as simple as 2 + 2 = 5. Yeah, exactly. Of course, Siraj has put him on the list. I love his list. He's great. He actually recently put himself on the list, but that is besides the point. This is what really annoys me. So there is so much more. I am scratching just the surface of what's in this bill, right? It's 2,700 pages long. There's so much more in it. Now I read this today from the Federalist. This pisses me off. Democrats' latest $3.5 trillion spending spree includes $1.3 billion bailout for the media. That's right, you heard it. The media. They're going to be bailing out the media. Several weeks ago, here, wait, let me just get to it. The program would provide a credit of up to $50,000 annually for each local news journalist on staff, subsidizing half of the wages in the first year and 30% for 4 years thereafter. The bill defines local news journalist as someone who works at least 100 hours each quarter, during which time each individual regularly gathers, collects photographs, records, writes, or reports news or information that concerns local events or other matters of local interest. Sorry, what are we doing with billions of dollars, over $1 billion? We're giving it to the media? We're going to be giving tax dollars to the media. Okay. This sounds like a payoff. It sounds like they're paying them for maybe the propaganda that they've been having them push since 2013 when it became legal to propagandize American citizens. I talk about it a lot. It's the Smith-Mundt Act. It was snuck into the NDAA 2013. Yeah, insane. Over $1 billion in bailout funds to media organizations. That's insane. Our national debt is $28 trillion right now. $28 trillion. How are we going to pay for that? It costs zero. We've got a president sitting in office right now who believes spending trillions of dollars costs nothing. It costs nothing. It costs $0. His words. Crazy. He's crazy. My Build Back Better agenda costs $0. I have to move on from this. I will be reporting more things as it goes. But I got to move on. I've been ranting about this for far too long. All right, let's talk about YouTube. So yesterday I got my show cut short because of OBS. A lot of people thought it was YouTube. In fact, I thought it was YouTube. No joke. I was like, oh man, did I just get cut? I got cut off because my stream just suddenly ended. And I was like, did I just get deleted? Did they just delete me from YouTube? I wouldn't be surprised. I don't follow the narrative. I tend to just rant on how I feel personally about things. Now, I'm very careful about when I talk about COVID and vaccines. I'm very careful because I got strikes already from talking about this kind of stuff. All right, so now I'm very aware. I got to say, look, I'm not a medical professional. It's actually kind of annoying. I can't even ask questions. I can't even quote Mark Zuckerberg, who he's stated publicly. I can't even say what he said because me saying what he said got me a strike and I wasn't able to stream for 2 weeks. So I bring you this. YouTube lowers the boom on anti-vaccine content and activists. YouTube is wielding the ban hammer on anti-vaccine content and against prominent anti-vaccine activists. The site announced Wednesday it was expanding its medical misinformation policies to include new guidelines on vaccines and would actively remove content that claims vaccines are dangerous or could cause other chronic health conditions, including autism, cancer, or infertility, or that substances in vaccines can track those who receive them. In the past year, YouTube says it has removed 130,000 videos for violations of its vaccine policies. But many videos have skirted the policy by specifically not mentioning COVID-19. That prompted the company to make today's expansion. Quote, crafting policy around medical misinformation comes charged with inherent challenges and trade-offs, said YouTube in a blog post. Quote, scientific understanding evolves as new research emerges, and firsthand personal experience regularly plays a powerful role in online discourse. Vaccines, in particular, have been a source of fierce debate over the years, despite consistent guidance from the health authorities about their effectiveness. YouTube, however, did say it would allow people to continue to discuss and debate vaccines policies, new vaccine trials, and historical vaccine successes or failures. Personal testimonies will also be allowed as long as they do not violate other community guidelines. The new policy goes into effect immediately, though YouTube warned it would take some time for the system to catch up to enforcement. YouTube joins Facebook, which has announced plans to ban accounts that repeatedly spread vaccine conspiracies after facing strong criticism for initially leaving anti-vaccine posts up on the site. And Twitter in March announced a strike system for people who spread misinformation, with penalties ranging from no action for the first offense to a permanent suspension after 5 strikes. You know, I actually didn't really know about that until this. And here is Twitter safety, and they're talking about here. Yeah, in December they decided to do that. We are also introducing a strike system that determines when further enforcement action is necessary. We believe the strike system will help educate the public on our policies and further reduce the spread of potentially harmful and misleading information on Twitter, particularly for repeated, moderate, and high severity violations of our rules. The only thing I could think of here is Eliza Blue and how Twitter left child pornography on their site, even after the children in the videos said, please take this down. It's me. You're spreading it. It was shared thousands of times. That's the Twitter. That's what's allowed on Twitter, but not misinformation. My goodness. People can have wrong think. Well, they hit Ron Paul. Ron Paul wrote today, very shocked that YouTube has completely removed the channel of my Ron Paul Institute. No warning, no strikes, no evidence. Only explanation was severe or repeated violations of our community guidelines. The channel is rarely used. The appeal was automatically rejected. It says here, hi Ron Paul Institute. We have reviewed your content and found severe or repeated violations of our community guidelines. Because of this, we have removed your channel from YouTube. We know this is probably very upsetting news, but it's our job to make sure that YouTube is a safe place for all. If we think a channel severely violates our policies, we take it down to protect other users on the platform. But if you believe we've made the wrong call, you can appeal this decision. You'll find more information about the policy in question and how to submit an appeal below. So we clearly appealed it and got rejected immediately. See, this is the word in question here, though. Platform. They're no longer a platform. I'm sorry. You're choosing what gets published. You're a publisher. And thus negating the protections you have from Section 230. You can't have it both ways. You either have 230 protection from what happens on your site because you're just a platform, or you're choosing what gets put on your platform and you become thus a publisher. Especially when you have government. Psaki came out and said that they work with Facebook to pick and choose what gets said. Government interference? So it's a government entity. That's not a private platform. People, well, it's a private company. They could choose what they do what they want. Really? Okay, then why did that cake maker get in trouble for refusing to serve someone who didn't follow their ideology? Isn't that their right as a private cake maker? To pick and choose who they make cakes for? Oh no, it's just whenever's convenient for them. I'm sorry to inform everyone, but Savannah Hernandez, she's been on my show many times. She's great. She got a strike on YouTube and can no longer stream for a full week. Elijah Schaefer's new show got a strike. I think 2 strikes. Right off the bat. Came in hot and got 2 strikes. Now they appealed it and was able to get rid of the strikes. Now this is before YouTube implemented these changes this week. So maybe had it happened after the fact, he might have been screwed. Who knows? But this is a scary time. People are no longer allowed to question. They're no longer allowed to talk openly about what they've heard, what they've seen. I can't tell you about the different studies that I've read coming out of Germany, coming out of Israel, all right, comparing, or Sweden. A lot of these things contradict a lot of the stuff that is being pushed in the mainstream. But here's YouTube saying, you're not allowed to talk about any of that. Oh, sure, tell your story as long as it doesn't cross our rules. Do you trust them to do that? I've had videos removed. I think they deleted 3 of my videos. Now, luckily, all of my stuff is backed up over on my Odyssey channel, so you can watch all of my stuff. Nothing gets deleted over there because it's free code. It'll always be up. But YouTube is a publisher, and this is proving it. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about celebrity culture. A little lighter news, if you will. So I want to talk about celebrity culture because Shaquille O'Neal says, I don't want to be a celebrity anymore. Check this out. Shaq rejects celebrity status, saying these people are out of their freaking mind. Thank you for saying that, Shaq. It's refreshing. And then it starts by saying Shaquille O'Neal is done. The 4-time NBA champion and one of the greatest basketball players of all time renounced his celebrity status in an interview with the New York Post. The 7'1" former Los Angeles Lakers superstar, who was also one of the most recognizable athletes, is done with the glitz and glamour. Here's a quote from him. These celebrities are going freaking crazy, and I don't want to be one. I denounce my celebrity-ness today, and I'm done with it, he told the New York Post on Friday. I don't want to be in that category. Celebrities are crazy. They really are. Don't call me that anymore. These people are out of their freaking mind with how they treat people, what they do, what they say. That's never been me. I never want to be looked at like that. Awesome. Thank you, Shaq. You're right. They are crazy. They do look down on other people. They think they are better than others because what? Are more known on this planet? Well, guess what? Nobody's better than anyone else. I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. Period. That's just the way it is. Doesn't matter your skin color. Doesn't matter your gender. Nothing. We are all human beings. We all bleed the same color. We all need to eat. We all probably... I've sworn enough on my show, but so far today. But yeah, we're all the same. Nobody should be elevated. In fact, it reminds me of this tweet that's pinned on Chrissy Mayer's page. Normalize ignoring celebrities. Yeah, I agree with that. Ignore it, because we're all on the same level. Nobody is better than you. These celebrities think that they can just tell you how to think and are probably paid to do so. Why do you think they were so mad at Nicki Minaj? Right? Because their normal tactics didn't work with her. She was like, nah, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to talk about what happened to my cousin. I'm done with Twitter. I don't need those 22 million followers. Right? I'm going to do me. And props to her. It was awesome what happened with Nicki Minaj. Because she was remaining her free self, being able to question those above her or in control, because no one's above anyone, right? So what I meant is like the people making the decisions to implement laws that we all have to abide by. Those are included in this. They are celebrity culture. So I put those people in the same bracket. These politicians that are they're basically celebrities. Everyone knows their name. You recognize them on the street. Political pundits. Tucker Carlson, was accosted at a hunting shop because some guy can't stand his point of view, and Tucker held it together like a boss because he is a boss. But anyway, let's continue reading about Shaq here. He said O'Neal added he didn't want to be stereotyped as someone who is out of their mind and would rather be known for his kindness away from the basketball court and television cameras. One of the 49-year-old's latest ventures is with Papa John's. With every purchase of his Shaq-a-Roni pizza, Papa John's will donate $1 from every purchase to support COVID-19 relief, the fight against racial injustice, Boys and Girls Clubs of America, and the United Negro College Fund and community involvement. He also partnered with Kellogg's Mission Tiger to help purchase sports equipment in various cities across the U.S. O'Neal will still be behind the desk for his NBA show on TNT. The NBA season is right around the corner. And, I mean, good for him. Because I mean, he's, what is he? Head and Shoulder? No, not Head and Shoulders. How many different Arm& Hammer? Was it Arm& Hammer? What other products has he sold? Dude's in more commercials than any other athlete I know. I mean, that's like all he does now, right? Is commercials, and it's crazy. So, but I want to say, so Chrissy Mayer's tweet to normalize ignoring celebrities is, I agree with it, and also at the same time, I'm not a celebrity in any sense of the term, but I also have a platform, right? You guys show up for me every day. Many of you do, not all of you, and that's fine. But I have a platform. I have over 190,000 subs on YouTube and over 90,000 followers on Twitter. And, you know, what I say, people read sometimes. You don't have to read it, but my opinion gets out there, right? So normalizing ignoring celebrities to a point, because anyone, celebrity or not, could have a good point, right? I mean, you see viral tweets going crazy on Twitter, and their accounts have 100 people, but the tweet itself is gold, right? Anyone could hit that. But sometimes you get lucky, and a celebrity happens to be based, to be actually on point. Case in point here this is from Bounding Into Comics. Actor Rob Schneider encourages fellow Americans to stop shaming and demonizing each other. Slams COVID-19 restrictions and masks mandates. Saturday Night Live comedian and Hollywood actor Rob Schneider recently took to social media to encourage Americans to stop shaming and demonizing each other, regardless of whatever particular and individual beliefs they held. And this is the follow-up tweet is what I really like. And he's actually quoting Jonathan Isaac, and he's the one of the NBA players that came out very openly talking about the vaccine and why he is hesitant in getting it. And he says, there's a quote from him, "Loving your neighbor is not just loving those who agree with you or look like you or move in the same way that you do. It's loving those who don't." Yes, I love that sentiment. That is the energy, and we need more of that. I love it. I'm going to say it again. Loving your neighbor is not just loving those who agree with you, who look like you, or move like you. It's loving the ones that don't. I love that. It's more than loving your neighbor. It's being American. That's what America is to me. It is that melting pot. That's what I grew up on. I grew up hearing that, anyone can come here and make it if they work for it. And I see all these legal immigrants that come here that love America. They're like, oh man, it's great here. I work really hard and I can send money back to my home and help the people that aren't as lucky to be an American. I've seen it countless times all over America, these people that are so grateful to come here. And it's such a stark contrast to these born Americans that are here that hate America. And this is who he's talking about. Yo, I don't love you any less because you feel this way about others. I want the best for you. You're an American citizen just like me. Good. I want the best for you. That's not how they feel at all. It's the opposite for them. It's crazy. They've weaponized this division. They meaning the Democrats or the leftist progressives, anyone who's trying to push this whole agenda that they've got. It's crazy. Now, I can't read the rest of this article, but I do post all of the articles that I reference on my show over on my locals page, so you can go there and read any of the articles that I've shown you today. Every day I post them over there on adamcrigler.locals.com. You can go over there and check them out. Feel free to read the rest of this article because Rob Schneider goes into a lot of opinions that would now get me banned per YouTube's new policies. All right, so anyway, I'm going to get into some super chats. Let me just get a little swig of water. So my show got cut off last night and I saw that there was a couple super chats that had come in right as my show got cut. And I have them pulled up. I'm going to read. This is from last night. I don't know if they're both here. One of them's from Quesadilla, so I'm assuming he's here because he's a regular. Thanks, Quesadilla. Quesadilla says, we need the telescope to find quesadillas in space. That's great. Yesterday I was talking about the James Webb telescope that's coming out. That's finally going to be sent into space December 18th. This one is a $20 super chat from the Warrior Painter 91. Hi, Adam. Please look into my uncle's court case against Governor Pritzker. It says Governor JP, but it says in the city of Naperville, Illinois. The governor of Illinois is Pritzker. He is suing the city over mandates. The case is Halgren versus Naperville. How could he get in touch with maybe being a guest? Interesting. So he's actually doing something about it. I love that. Look, do me a favor. Go to my locals page and tag me and write just a little write-up about, I don't know if you're actually here right now. Unfortunately, this came in just as my OBS crashed last night. It cut my stream off, and I wasn't able to get it back up and running. So, but thank you for the super chat. And yeah, definitely try to hook me up. I will try to get in touch with them. Let's see. All right, we got Jake says the national debt is going to default after today. This will spur a far worse Great Depression. Stock up on goods now. I was reading on that. I don't know much about it. I'm not an economist, but yeah, that's interesting. I will look into it. I don't know if it's going to happen today. I got to look more into this. I have seen a couple things about it, but I am looking forward to it. Hey, I see Captain Playoni's in chat. How you doing, darling? She's the best. Anyway, Mr. Knox says, the 1 billion bailout to media must be to thank you for being, for BSing for us and making the other side look bad. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Anzu Love says, Maricopa audit volunteers video came out. The first video of them speaking of the audit at 1000cuts.org. Interesting. Okay, I haven't seen that. I'll have to check that out. Jonathan says, news, latest study out of UK showed that the majority, I can't even say it. You even say on the in the super chat, I know you can't repeat this. I can't say that because YouTube will say it's misinformation, even though I've read the study myself and I've gotten strikes for reporting on that exact stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's see here. Serious Business says brushing teeth doesn't prevent impacted molars. Yeah, so okay, sure, that's fine. Impacted molars, I get it. Everyone could get their wisdom teeth taken out as part of the deal, right? But that's not to say that yeah, it's so easy to like, well, technically there's this that can fall in line, but come on. If you don't brush your teeth are going to rot out of your mouth, right? I mean, if you don't take care of your health, you're going to get fat and become unhealthy. Okay? Well, technically, some people are born that... My goodness, come on. Semantics? You're going to argue with me with semantics? Quesadilla says, the government needs to get me cheese from the moon. I want to start a new fad and make moon cheese quesadillas. Bring on that moon cheddar. You know what? Playoni just said, no Robert Wiles, no peace. For the record, everyone, Robert actually posted in my locals that he is hanging out with his niece tonight. I think he's taking her to the movies, and that he wouldn't miss the stream and wanted to apologize for not being able to join in. So to you, Robert Wiles, thank you, sir. May you have a blessed night and blessed life doing what you do, sir, which is hanging out with your niece, which I know that you love to do. So shout out to Robert Wiles. He may not be here, or is he finally here? Actually, I'm not sure if he's here. People are tagging him, so I don't know if he's actually here or not. But I know he wasn't able to show up at the beginning of the show. It was a little weird not seeing him first in chat. Which he has very consistently first. Anyway, where am I here? White Lasagna says, we're heading towards a nightmare dystopia way too fast for me to get excited about the government building trains. Right. Exactly. I know. All right. So, hey, White Lasagna, he's the one who actually started the dice game because he bought me a thing of dice. So I'm going to roll the dice. You guys know the deal. This is for absolutely nothing. This is my new 20-sided die that I got from the new Magic the Gathering set that is based on Dungeons & Dragons. I couldn't help myself. I love Dungeons & Dragons, and I'm a sucker for opening Magic packs. So, anyway, I rolled the dice. Good luck. Have fun, everybody. You guys know the deal. Veiled Maid says, I paid $20,000 for my teeth. If I didn't have good finances, I could have died. If my taxes might have helped save lives, good to my fellow man, rich or poor. Okay, I like where your head's at, Veiled Maid. Hold on. Minions just won with 20. I did roll a natural 20. Congratulations, Minion. You won absolutely nothing. Save it up for something at the Nothing store. And maybe you can get yourself something or nothing nice. You know what? Veiled Maid, I get it. Did you fall into that under your own lack of taking care of your teeth? I'm just curious. Or was it something that you could not have prevented at all? Right? This is where the because even in Sweden, dental isn't in the either whatever government funded healthcare. It's not. If you have issues with your teeth, you got to pay for it, and that makes sense to me. $20,000, that's a lot. I don't know what that is, and if you could have died, was that because these veins go right into your brain? If it gets infected, it can go right to and it could be bad. So I get that, but still, it's I don't know. It's a discussion for sure. Mao Mighty says, I want a Robichaud Trudeau. Off topic, yes, but valid. I don't even know what that means. Robichaud. I haven't seen Robichaud in a while. I hope he's doing well. Shun says, the problem with geosynchronous anything is the amount of space junk is getting worse and no one is doing anything about it. It's going to be like WALL-E. Good point, actually, Shun. I forgot about that. So you guys, there's videos out there that shows like when Sputnik, which was the very first human satellite into space that we know about, boom, that was in 57, I think. And then it progresses all the way till now with everything that's in space. And there is an insane amount of space. Insane. Captain Playoni actually just reiterated. She says, after 21 or 24 or something, you have to pay for dental in Sweden. Yep, that's exactly what I thought, right? Yep. Scrody Johnson says, howdy, Adam. I believe we should be able to vote on these bills since we are paying for it. Agreed. I would love that. We should be able to get that. Vanessa says, Superfund sites are usually toxic sites. Not surprising. I don't know much about it. Fisty Splinters with a membership. Thank you very much. We've got a new member, everybody. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you very much. You can now spin the UFO in chat. I'm talking the actual UFO, custom made from my Discord. Very nice. Shout out to my mods in Discord because they made that actual UFO emote for me. All those members in chat, let's see them. Let's see them. Let's see that UFO. Montana Horseman says, happy birthday, Angleby. Angleby, is it your birthday? Angleby is one of my most ardent supporters. Angleby, thank you, sir, very much. This is my newest mod, in fact. I see you spamming that UFO in chat. He is also a member to the channel. Thank you, Angleby, for all you do. Happy birthday. Come on, everybody. Wish Angleby a happy birthday. If you have not, it is his birthday and deserves some UFOs in chat if you guys got them. And that's awesome. Happy birthday, Angleby. Thanks for all you do for me. I appreciate you. Scrody again says, Texas is pretty clean. I see people picking up trash all the time. As a smoker, I never throw down my cigarette butts. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, first and foremost. And man, Texas is awesome. Texas is awesome. I like Texas. Got a lot of good people in Texas. Scrody Johnson's with a $10 super chat says, why not cut spending and taxes and regulations? More money in our pockets mean more jobs and more lowering inflation worked for Trump and Reagan. As a business owner, this means more employees and money. Good point. Yeah, I mean, the government wants the money. They're trying to convince you that the government is the one that needs the money to make your life better. Crazy. Based for Life with $10 super chat says the government and mainstream media are just fortifying each other. What's wrong with that? I just uploaded a new song about all the corruption of the mainstream media to try and red pill more people. Things are going nuts right now. Yes, they are. Thank you for that. They're fortifying each other. It is frightening how accurate that statement is. My goodness. Pinch Me says, doesn't sound like a bailout. Sounds like the government funded media propaganda. Yeah, okay. Right. Even worse. Exactly. Hey, Darth Call comes in hot with a $5 super chat says, it's crazy you can't even quote Mark Zuckerberg. Yes, I know. I can't even quote him. And I'll tell you later. I'll send you a message and tell you what he said. Or maybe, I think we've actually talked about it before, but it's crazy. Shun says, we all be ripping them. Sometimes loudly, other times silent, but deadly. Nice. I approve of that. I Be Rippin' 'Em would approve of it as well. Mr. Knox says, good on Shaq, I say. Like Shaq, when he played b-ball, I like him even more after playing b-ball. Yeah, I got a lot of respect for that man. To hear what he was talking about, it's just like, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Because a lot of these celebrities are nuts. That they think that they can sway the populace with an uneducated decision, right? Based on science. For those who are just listening to the podcast, I am air quoting when I say science there. Minion says, electric guitar soon? Maybe. I'm traveling around for a little while. I got a lot of things I'm going to be doing while in my travels, so we'll see. Hey, there's Mark Robershaw. He says, nah, Crigler rum because he's a pirate. Okay, I like that. Oh, continuing on, Robershaw. Good to see you, mate. I was worried for you because Australia is cracking down like crazy. And anyway, he says, going off Biden's brain, mine, and Adam, house cost us nothing because they'll be worth more in the future. Amazing thinking. Biden is amazing. Well done. Right. So if I buy a house today and I'm going to sell it in the future for more money, then it costs nothing now. Great logic, man. Thank you. David says, wrote you a business email. Please respond. Founder/owner of Maricopa County Chamber in Arizona. Oh, wow. Interesting. I'm very interested in whatever that email is. I will definitely look out for it. David, thank you very much. I just want to make a note of this to look for this. I am very intrigued, and I would like to know what you are reaching out for me for. Quesadilla says, here in Southern California, we're basically trained to ignore celebrities anyway. Before camera phones, I was a Hooters LA. Tom Cruise was acting a fool. Oh, you were at Hooters LA, and Tom Cruise was acting a fool. Interesting. All right. Robert Shaw says, dental isn't covered by Medicaid in Australia. Yeah, show me a place where it is covered. It doesn't make sense. North Viking says, for a snack, try some toffee. For a sip, drink Crigler coffee. I like that one. That one's good. I like that one. Thank you. Thank you for that. Mr. Squiggle says, a lot of oral health issues are hereditary, though. If you can't afford it or wait too long to take care of it, it can lead to heart disease. Okay, again, it's like things you can't control. I get, right? The shape of your teeth, right? If they are, if you need braces, for example, not just for the looks, but for something that might damage your jaw, like I get it. I'm not saying that all dental shouldn't be cut off, but the conversation should be had that you have to be at least responsible a little bit for your mouth health, right? And for your body's health. I mean, do you deny that? Sure. Some people, it's hereditary to be big boned, I guess I'll say, as the politically correct term. You could still be healthy about it. You could still choose to eat healthy, right? It's still a choice to try. I don't know. It's just where I'm saying. Robert Shaw says, fun fact, birds use cigarette butts as an anti-insect in their bird's nests because cigarette butts seem to work like insecticide. Look it up, man. Weird. Cool. I trust you. I trust you. I might look that up because that's kind of fun. Sejong the Great says, I have a fecal in my back window. You mean decal? You said fecal, which is totally different than decal. But I think you've said decal. Okay. We're gonna read this again. We're gonna start over. I have a decal in my back window, dead center, that says nobody cares what actors think. The more people who do this, the better. Thank you, Sejong. I agree with that. I do believe you did mean decal. Printer God says need a Crigler Swedish mead. Interesting. I'm gonna go with American bourbon first. Crigler and Crigler whiskey. Coming along. We'll see. All right, let's see here. Quesadilla says, been distracted by the Blue Angels. # Pacific Air Show. Cool. I love those. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, I think a prerequisite to be a part of politics should have knowledge in economics. How does this spending bill cost nothing? Print more money? There is no explanation, right? And you're right. I agree with that. You should have some sort of knowledge about economics. Little known fact about Trump. He had a degree in economics. Did you know that? Yeah, the dude knows what he's talking about in the business side of things. Okay, sure. He did go bankrupt in 92, a couple different businesses throughout his lifetime, but there's been countless businesses that have been successful for him. And bankrupting, you don't really realize, it's not like you have no more money. It's more of a legal thing. Anyway, that's besides the point. Hydro, thank you for that super chat. You didn't even say anything, but I appreciate that support. The Last Crow says, what if I need a beak whitening? Well, the Crow, I don't know if you should just be proud of who you are. Robert Shaw says, our tap water has a little fluoride in it. Oh, man. Interesting. Well, that sucks. I have a well in my new spot. So my water comes out from 300 feet down below my house, which is really cool to think about. All right, guys, that is my show. Luckily, my OBS seems to be working today, so that's great. Tomorrow is jam night. You guys know the deal. I will be jamming out on this here classical guitar. It's actually my brother's guitar, but it works for me for now. I'm really excited about jamming for you guys. Oh, we got a couple more super chats. Let's see. Robert Shaw says, I have a degree in random facts. Got it online. Nice. Cost you nothing, I bet. Sejong with a $50 super chat. Heyo. Wow. Sejong, thank you so much. It says, I was small-mouthed as a kid. By 15, I had them surgically removed. Also lost my back molars. Also knowledgeable in economics is questionable. AOC has an economics degree. Anyway, you're right, she does. That's a good point. This is for a coffee roll. Let's give it to 22 until none. All right, guys. This roll is actually for something. And while you guys are guessing, I'm going to respond here. You guys, a lot of you seem to be been triggered by my stance on dental work. Look, a lot of things that you can't prevent, right? And that's stuff that should be covered. But there needs to be a line drawn in the sand so people should still be accountable for themselves. Like, I don't want a welfare state. I don't want to rely on anything but myself. I want to work hard for my life, and I feel good after working for stuff, right? I want to be accountable for my actions. I want to brush my teeth and know that I'm taking care of myself, okay? It's just, we can't lose that. We can't be like, well, you know what? If you could just get it paid for by the government and have it taken care of, if it's a problem that you could have prevented. That's what I'm specifically talking about. All right, we got a winner. It's Darth Jason. Woo! I love seeing the people that are here all the time. Darth Jason, congratulations. You actually won something. So Sejong says this one's for 22 until none. So it's a Commodore's Reserve. If you guys don't know, that proceeds from that blend go to 22untilnone.org. It's a nonprofit that helps our veterans because 22 veterans a day commit suicide, and it is an absolute shame. It's actually between 20 and 22. I looked up the statistics more recently, but it's still a shame. But congratulations, Darth Jason. You won the coffee roll. Montana just hit you up with the information to do what you need to do. All you got to do is go to thecriglershow@gmail.com and let us know where you live and what blend you want. That is, if you don't want the Commodore's Reserve. But if you do, just let us know, and the Commodore's Reserve will be the one you get. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. That is my show. I will see you all tomorrow night here on The Crigler Show. Thank you for all your support, and thank you for smashing that like button. Good night, everybody.